The first Halloween film of the 2000s would be the 8th installment of the franchise, Halloween Resurrection, a totally unnecessary sequel to Halloween H2O. The latter film would have ended the franchise with the perfect ending, but you know, money talks. Halloween Resurrection would actually become most people's least favorite film of the franchise. Even decades later, it's still considered one of the worst. But is it the worst? If you ask me, I'd say no, especially after Halloween ends. My feelings on the franchise as a whole is that I don't hate any of them, and I hold the franchise at a high standard because it's my favorite. However, if a film is bad, I'll say it's bad, regardless if I like it or not. I am a dude called Jay, and today I'll be asking you guys this question. Is Halloween Resurrection that bad? Halloween Resurrection would be released in 2002, 4 years after Halloween H2O. In said movie, Laurie Strode would kill Michael by chopping his head off. However, he would return for this movie. How? Because of this dumb explanation.
Oh my god, she killed the wrong person.
Jamie Lee Curtis would return once again as Laurie Strode, and initially you'd think that would be a good thing, right? Well, she doesn't last too long, as she would be killed off in the first 15 minutes of the movie. The movie would then center around Michael returning home to stalk and kill a group of teens, starring on a reality TV show called Dangertainment, which is led by most people's biggest problem with this movie, Freddie Harris, played by hip-hop icon Busta Rhymes. I will say that the idea itself, having an MTV-style reality TV show investigating the Myers house, isn't a terrible idea. It actually gives Michael a reason for killing outside of the family ties he was mostly restrained to in the previous sequels. The downside to it though is that it dated the movie. It definitely does feel like an early 2000s movie, especially with this. The overall cast of victims were actually not that bad. There are some familiar faces in there, and I don't think they're the problem. Busta Rhymes' character is the overbearing one, even though I don't hate it. Outside of the main protagonist and Michael Myers, they set him up as one of the biggest characters in the movie. They clearly added him due to the fact that they wanted a black demographic, like other films did at that time. The thing is though, another hip-hop icon, LL Cool J, would play in the previous Halloween film and did not at all distract or take away from the movie. It was a much better movie overall, but still. The biggest sin for this movie was just how much Freddie had over Michael. Like, he bitched out Michael to his face.
Huh? You don't get it? You don't get it? Your shit ain't working up there or something? You need to take your ass in the back of the garage with Nora.
You can't excuse that. It's not Michael outsmarting him to kill Tyra Banks. Yeah, she's in this movie too as a nothing character. I don't think Michael would do that. He would kill Freddy first, then go after her. That's not all though. He actually would karate kick Michael out of a damn window. When the fuck would this have actually worked in any of the other films before this? Gunshots barely took him down, but a kung fu kick from Busta Rhymes took him down? That's bullshit. Of course though, he eventually gets his comeuppance, sort of. And like Michael, you can't keep Busta down because he keeps coming back to save the day. As I said, I didn't hate him. I'll be lying if I say I didn't like these lines.
Trick or treat, motherfucker. Burn, motherfucker. Burn! Hey, Mikey! Happy fucking Halloween!
When you do this much for a character, it affects your main villain, Michael Myers. Jason did get his ass kicked in a few movies, but it took a girl with telekinesis and an android to do it. Outside of the Busta Rhymes stuff though, I felt Michael overall was an improvement over Halloween H2O. The kills were overall better, and I especially liked this one. He definitely looked better as well. I think the main problem with this movie is that it's mostly filler. It's an early 2000s straight to DVD styled horror movie. Like I said, Michael was dope, but that's about it. The cast got picked off one by one searching around a house that they thought was empty. Freddy's main goal was to produce numbers from viewers. He planted things around the house to spook it up, not knowing that Michael was actually still living there. They go through the house finding fake body parts and fresh seasoning. A high chair, which I highly doubt they used for Michael, seeing that he was a normal child at birth. And of course, the typical things these characters do. Outside of the Busta Rhymes stuff, it's not an offensive Halloween film. At least they weren't marching around the house saying evil dies tonight or have Michael get killed by a 60-plus-year-old woman. My overall view on the movie is that no, I don't think it's that bad of a movie. But is it a good movie? Well, not really. It's filler, definitely a time waster. There's good moments, but there's also some bad moments too. This movie probably would have worked better had it had a sequel, but that never happened due to the next movie being a remake. Halloween Resurrection will never be up there with the first few movies, or even something like the remake in the 2018 film in terms of overall quality, but I don't think it's the worst out there. The perfect term for this movie is time waster. It's filler that you can just sit down and watch on a day you're bored or have playing in the background. Try not to let Busta Rhymes annoy you too much, and I think you'll have an okay time with it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe for future content. Take care, y'all.